Fourth grade into math, lesson 9.3. Find unknown measures. I can find the unknown measure of a rectangle given the length of one side and the area or perimeter. Okay, so we have just been working on area, right? And then at the beginning of the year, we worked on perimeter. Okay, so they're going to give us information, and then we have to figure out what's missing. Step it out. Number 1, Liesl is decorating the front window of a shop with a string of lights. She uses 50 feet of lights around the window. The window is 10 feet wide. What is the length of the window? So we know that, do we know the perimeter or the area? The perimeter, right? Okay, so let's pull out what we have. Okay, so we know 50 feet, 10 feet wide, and they want to know the length, right, guys? Yeah. What do you know? So we know the perimeter, which is 50 feet, and we know the width, which is 10 feet. Okay, and then of course we're going to use formulas, either formulas for perimeter or formulas for area. They were nice enough and already set this up for us. So these things would go together though, and these things would go together. So what is our perimeter? So let's plug in our numbers into our equation. What's our perimeter?
Our perimeter is
50 feet. Okay, times 2. What is our length? Do we know that yet?
No.
No, that's what we're trying to find. So I'm going to put an L here. Remember, I kind of loop it so you can tell the difference between an L and a 1, right? Plus 2 times W, or our width. What's our width? 10. So then I'm going to, and remember, guys, I told you this kind of goes together and this kind of goes together, right? If you go with order of operations, you do multiplying and then you add, okay? So we're going to rewrite our equation. So 50, what is 2 times L?
2.
We're going to rewrite that, okay, because we're not ready to do anything different with it. What's 2 times 10? 20. Okay, so 2 times L is an unknown adding. How could you use the equation to find 2 times L? So first of all, we're going to do what? We have to get that L by itself. So we need to subtract 50 minus 20 first, which gives us what? 30. So 2 times what? So like I told you guys before, you need to do an inverse operation to get L by itself, correct? Okay, so 2 times something gives you 30. So what's the inverse of multiplication? Division. So 30 divided by 2 equals, so what times 2 will get you 30? 15, right? So I could also put 30 in my house over here, put a 2 and then 1, right? Could I also do that to find it if I wasn't sure? Yes. Okay, so the length will be 15 feet. Stepping out, number 2. Samuel is decorating a different window in the shop. The window is a rectangle and has an area of 72 square feet. The length of the window is 9 feet. What is the width? Okay, so let's pull out what we need. So 72 square feet, 9 feet, and then what is the width? Oh, we also need that this is the length, right, guys? Okay, now, why is it important to make sure we're not only just circling the numbers, but also circling the labels? Does it also help us know, like this one's a square feet, so does that help us know we're doing area versus perimeter? Yes, okay, so you need to make sure you're identifying those things too. Okay, so what are we looking for? The width. Okay, what do we know? That the area is 72 square feet. And then we know that the length, so L, is 9 feet, correct? Yes or no, guys? Okay. So, do we know what A is?
No.
Yeah, we know that the area is 72, right? Do we know what the length is?
Yeah.
Yep, 9, and we don't know what the width is. So we need to get W by itself. So what do we do to get W by itself? We do an division or an inverse operation, right? Okay, so we would take 72 divided by 9 equals what, guys? 8. So the width of the window is 8 feet. Just feet, right? Check understanding. Use the area or perimeter formula to find an unknown measure. Elise is painting a stage set that has an area of 48 square feet. The width of the set is 6 feet. What is the length? So we need our information. So 48 square feet. Width of 6 feet. And then we're looking for the length. Okay, so my formula, am I doing a perimeter formula or an area formula? Area. So area equals length times width. Do I know what the area is?
Yes.
Yes. What is the area?
48.
48 equals, do I know the length? No. So L times, what's the width? 6. So I do an inverse operation to get L by itself. So what do? 48 divided by 6 equals 8. So 8 feet. Number 2, Jada has 38 yards of fencing to put around a paddock for some goats. She has the length set at 10 yards. What is the width of the paddock? Okay, so our total is only 38 yards. Or not only 38 yards, but 38 yards. Is it 38 square yards? No. So that right there tells us what? That it's perimeter, not area, right? Okay. Also, what other word tells us that it's perimeter and not area? The word around, right? Because perimeter goes around objects, right? Okay. And area covers the entire object. Okay. So our formula for perimeter is P equals 2L plus 2W. Okay. Remember, when things are close like that, it also means multiplication. Okay, you don't have to have that multiplication sign. All right. So we forgot to pull out our information? 38 yards, the length of 10 yards, and then we're looking for the width. Okay. So do I know my perimeter? Yes. What is it? 38 equals. Do I know my length? Yes. So 2 times 10, because parentheses also mean what, guys? Multiplication, right? Okay. Plus 2W, because we do not know the width yet. All right. So now I'm going to rewrite it again. 38 equals, what's 2 times 10 for me? 20 plus 2W. Okay, so what am I going to do? What do I need to do first to try and get that 2W by itself?
38 times.
Not trying to get.
38 plus 20.
I need to get rid of this 20, right? You're right. We need to get rid of the 20. But what am I going to do? I'm not dividing it. I'm going to subtract it. Okay? So I'm going to take minus 20. And what I do on one side, I do on the other. So then I mark it out. So 38 minus 20 is what? 18. So 18 equals 2W. Okay? And what did we say when that 2 and that W were right beside each other? That also means what? 18. That also means multiplication, right? So what is the inverse operation of multiplication? Division. So this fraction bar also means what? Division. So what I do on one side of the equation, I have to do to the other, right? Okay. So what is 18 divided by 2? 9. So W equals 9. So 9, what's my label?
Yards.
Yards. Okay, so for the on your own, we're going to do 3 through 5 with small group and then 6 through 9 with partners, okay? And then we're going to do the backside here together. On your own, number 10, history checkers is one of the oldest board games still played today. The oldest known checkerboard is over 5,000 years old. A standard checkerboard is square and has an area of 64 square inches. What is the length of one side of the board? Okay, so this is where we need to plot our information. Do we need the 5,000? No, that's just saying how old it is, right? Okay, but we do need to pull out that we have the area of 64 square inches, and they want to know what the length of one side of the board is. But it also says that the checkered board is square. Why does that matter?
Because all the sides are the same.
Right, because on a square, all sides are the same, right? Okay, so we need to write the formula for area. Area equals length times width. What is our area? 64. Okay. Do we know the length? No, we don't. Do we know the width? No, we don't. Okay, but we do know that these two are going to be the same because on a square, all the sides are similar. So what number can you take times itself to get 64?
8 times 8.
8 times 8. So 8 times 8. So one length is 8 inches. Number 12, a square has a perimeter of 24 inches. How can you find the length of one side? So what's our formula? Perimeter equals 2L plus 2W. So we need to plug in our stuff. What's our perimeter? Guys, 24 equals, and then we have a square. So once again, a square has what? 4 sides that are all the same length, right? Okay. So what do we need to do then? Okay, so in this case, we know we have 4 sides, right? So we can do equals 2L plus 2W. But then we know there's 4 sides, so 24 divided by 4 equals what?
6.
Equals 6. Okay, so now we have to figure out what. Are we going to do 2 times? Or are we going to do something times something? Or are we going to add something plus something plus something plus something? You guys don't, did you just find your answer? Yes, right? Because a square has 4 sides. So if you added up 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, would you get 24? Yeah, so you just found your answer. Did you technically have to use this other stuff? No. So 6 inches. Now, if it would have been a rectangle, would you have to do that? Yes. Okay, so we should have also circled that we're looking for the perimeter. Number 13, 14, 15, we're going to work this out and then go over them. So for number 13, we wrote our formula, P equals 2L times or plus 2W. Then we plugged in our numbers that were given to us. So 16 equals 2 times 6 plus 2W. So then we rewrote our formula of 16 equals 12 plus 2W. And then we needed to get 2W by itself. So we subtracted 12. When we did to one side, we did to the other. We were left with 4 equals 2W. And then we needed to get W by itself. So with that being multiplication with them by each other, we divided by 2 on both sides and got W to equal 2. Okay, so number 14, we had to write our formula. Area equals length times width. And then we said 36 equals L times W. So we knew that that number had to be the same. Now, some of my friends wanted to say 9, but if we would take 9 times 9, that would get us 81. So that would not work. Now, if it was perimeter, would that work? Yes. But we were doing area this time. So then we did a factor tree to figure out what we could do. And we came up with 6 times 6. Number 15, we knew we were looking for the missing width with area. So area equals length times width. We took 45 equals 15 times W. We knew we had to get